We have recently begun the Jubilee Year of Mercy. Pope Francis is inviting us to be a church of mercy, to live more fully the corporal and spiritual works of mercy. We are invited to share with all, every person. We are being invited to share with all the love of God. There is a long tradition of Jubilee years in the church and in the history of the people of Israel. The last Jubilee year was the year 2000, and even 16 years later, people relate their experiences from that year, either a visit to Rome or some celebration here in the United States. Jubilee years can be powerful experiences. The first Jubilee year in the church was in the year 1300. The Middle Ages were not a time of great prosperity and confidence in the future. Cities and villages were vulnerable to threats, civil unrest, the spread of disease. Again, it was not a time of great confidence in the future, and yet, despite the darkness of the age, the Pope called for a year committed to the future. The Jubilee year of 1300 began the long tradition in the Church of placing hope in the renewal that God brings us. And this hope for the future is what marked the Jubilee years from ancient Israelite history. Debts were forgiven, the land was nurtured, people were given a new lease on life. When Jesus reads from the scroll, as we hear in today's gospel, he reads the proclamation that this is a year of favor from the Lord. The year of favor that Isaiah proclaims is one that is promised after the people have grown tired. The land has been taxed. Financial and societal strains are present. Yet in the face of that, Isaiah says that this can be a year of favor. The needs of the lowly will be met. Certainly the people of Jesus' time knew oppression and fatigue as well. Certainly the situation was right for a Jubilee year, was right for the renewal that is promised in a Jubilee year. Yet, as we hear in the Gospel, the people cast Jesus out. He was faced with opposition. But perhaps even worse, he was faced with complacency and unwillingness to be different. The time was ripe for a Jubilee year, but the people did not accept it. Yet, even in the face of opposition and complacency, Jesus sees a time of exceptional blessing. Today, this passage is fulfilled in your hearing. Jesus sees possibilities where others do not. Those who are resistant or complacent need the message of a year of favor, a year of mercy. That is the point of a Jubilee year. St. Paul today describes the people of God as a body. All of us are connected as members of the body of Christ. From our own bodies, we know how crippling even a small wound can be, a stubbed toe or a paper cut. We know the gratifying effects of some rest after hard work, sitting in a comfortable chair or sharing a good meal. The body of Christ experiences the same threats of injury and hurt and the same joys. Hurt, opposition, complacency all threaten to claim the attention of the whole body. But this is a year of favor from our God. We know the ability of some satisfaction to serve the whole body, and that is why we share the message of a year of favor. Like Jesus, like St. Paul, like Ezra in the first reading, like the popes, we stare into the darkness of hurt, opposition, and complacency, and we bring the promise of God's favor. To help all the members of Christ's body, we bring joy, healing, life, and mercy. This is a year of favor from our God. Today is holy to the Lord. Today, this year, we can overcome the divisions that the body of Christ experiences, the divisions that the world experiences. We can overcome the threats of insecurity. We can look at each other and say, today this passage is fulfilled in your hearing. The needs of the lowly will be met. There is a bright future.